Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have here a beautiful castle battle right now. We are streaming this because recording this as well because Charlie's, of course, having a beautiful vlog. And this time around, I'm here as well as your host, Simon Schmom, the guy that was mainly behind the streams, but now this time around, casting just a little bit. We have the two casters facing off against each other in this PC, with both of their teams actually quite well made there. Charlie just winning his last match thanks to Primer as well. A bit more bulkier team with Tinglu, Amungus, Porygon 2, of course, with Sinnoh and then Como being, of course, one of those one that is just incredibly bulky and working quite well together with all of these. On the other hand, with Ben, his team, a bit more standard. I believe it's his Dortmund team that performed quite well as well. Just barely missing out on two with this, but it has an Okidogi, it has Roaring Moon, Overpon Water, Main, Landorus Incarnate, and of course the Incineroar. Quite forward. This Okidogi is also the Allfest version, not the Bulka version. So just being sure that if Incineroar is prevalent, this Okidogi is very well adjusted to it. So having now access to the new move, Upper Hand, being able to block any kind of moves, such as moves just as Fake Out, Grass Glide, etc. Let's take at what these players will be bringing right now. Frostmob also being quite interesting. Ice skills, really. So let's take a look at what these players brought, and I do hope to see the Frostmod as well. Both players dancing as well to the music. It is the Okidogi and the Fluttermane, while it is Frostmob and the Amogus on the other hand. Okidogi, of course, being a bit threatening here, well, the possibility of just poison start onto the Frostmob. Frostmob not physically very bulky, but the Amogus there being their nice support, making sure that this Frostmob is eventually set up to run away with the game. Skills also an interesting ability that raises special defense of this Frostmob, making sure that it is any kind of hits from this flood. Also, however, Ben does happen to have access to Power Gem, 4 times effective on this Frostmob. But as we said, Rage Power from this Amogus, trying to redirect any moves. Obviously, we have Power Gem into this Amogus, not doing all that much as the gunshot is coming out as well. Both attacks targeted towards Frostmob, but now the Frostmob is able to dance and boogie down. As Ben is dancing quite a bit as this colleague. Now, with a Frostmob as +1 already, happened to hit quite a few strong ice moves. But the unfortunate thing is you're not really able to switch in things like your Roar instead of this Fungus to intimidate, negate the damage that Uku can do thanks to its ability Guard Dog. Because of Intimidate, it will only raise its attack then instead. The way that maybe Ben has to adapt here is just taking the hit from this Uku. And again, Frostmold itself is more than likely being able one hit while the Power Gem is Fungus. You have to protect from the Amogus itself, trying to make sure that it stays safe for just 1 turn as the Power Gem is coming out from the Fluttermane into that Frostmold, taking it quite well. His choice specs as well, and now with the very adjusted as well, making sure that it stays just that little bit more healthy as this Ice Beam is going into this Fluttermane. How much is this doing? Quite a bit of damage, 50% there, as the Gunshot from the Ukurugi actually in the protect from the Amogus. Very well played in that regard. We have seen that the Fluttermane is still faster than the Frostmold, so Frostmold as just as well. So it's might be redirected in that regard, but then the Frostmold will have to take huge poison move, being the Gunshot, very strong move in that regard. Maybe we could see like sort of adaptation from Charlie here, trying to negate down and down, able to come out because of course. Does happen to have the Tinglu, making sure that it can lower the damage output from this Fluttermane itself with that Power Gem, maybe being that at the very least. But we're seeing the Fluttermane actually switch out of switch is gonna be that Ogre Pump, quite a perfect Pokemon in this situation. It is a good potential spore switching, as we have the Terra coming out from Charlie's side. It is gonna be that Frostmoth into the Terra Water Frostmoth this time around, changing its typing completely, trying to make sure it is able to take any of these power gems as well. Reach powder from the Amoonguss, making sure that this Okidogi will be redirected as well, and giving this Frostmoth free reign with this Terra Blast, but it is the water absorb from the Ogerpon, so very well played in that regard from Charlie there, as the Drain Punch into Amoonguss will not be able to KO it on that end, but Amoonguss still hanging around, being able to reach powder, at least the Okidogi, not the, unfortunately, Ogerpon, as it is, of course, a very good grass typing, being able to just ignore any sort of powder moves. And seemingly still being quite ahead in this. So Charlie has to try to kind of break through these Pokemon here while Ben is surely but able to chip down these Pokemon little by little as the Amoonguss is switching out. So let's take a look at what they're switching. It is going to be that Como a perfect switching for, well, both the Pokemon, as it is quite good defensive wall here, either of these. Charlie has already used his Terra, so with the Fluttermane in the back, you really don't want to have any sort of dazzling gleam going your way, as we have a Drain Punch from the Okidogi doing a bit of damage, and now very able to potentially set up, even try and predict what slot the Fluttermane might be coming into. That is red. Ben doesn't want this Como set up his iron defenses, body press all over the competition, really pressing around, using that. But Charlie has to more leech from this. Is bound to keep this poor little Frostmoth, but being not really the table. Still fearing that Oogie, as the Ogerpon is actually opting to switch out. So no Hornleech going to be on, as the Fluttermane is coming out as well. You have the Frostmoth being withdrawn. Could see potentially a new Amoonguss there. It is going to be that Amoonguss being a little bit revitalized thanks to the switch out and its regenerator ability. Gunshot from the Okidogi into the Amoonguss, and that will pick up the KO. Amoonguss that switched in. Quite a good support Pokemon to help, as the Iron Hand going into Okidogi, wrongly calling where the Fluttermane went in. That was a very hard call to make, of course. Ben perfectly adjusted there. He's to be vibing, really. He's absolutely smashing this song. Kind of want to just zoom in on Ben vibing. Alright, Frostmoth coming back in, fortunately not having access to Quiver Danced from its earlier there. Meaning a little bit threat. Here we have seen Ice Beam. So I mean did that amount of damage, so regular Ice Beam that boost Fluttermane, but secondary effects. Secondary effects are all there. Pokemon can still protect us, and we have a hidden for Pokemon from Charlie's side as well. That Frostmoth being able to switch out right now, going into Inglu, being able to negate the damage that Fluttermane is able to throw out here. We have the Terra activation on the side from Ben this time. It is going to be that Fluttermane going for the best amount of oomph they can do. Like looking in the camera, knowing what they did, they are fairly certain that this will hurt quite a bit, as it is going to be that Dazzling Gleam. It is 4 times effective, but with a Tinglu, this is going to be enough. It is more than enough for this Como, as this Tinglu takes this quite well, but unfortunately still quite a bit of damage, as now we have the Drain Punch from the Okidogi into that Tinglu as well. And it is just seeming that Ben was fully in control of this game right from the start. Even though that Charlie set up his Frostmoth on the turn, time and time again, Ben was ready behind there, making sure that No, I don't think you are setting up actually. Like this can't be done. No, we're we're gonna take a back seat here and just say no, don't do that. With the good witches there and Frostmont not being able to threaten all that much after one quiver dance, still doing decent damage, but just not living up to the hype here. Where Charlie is truly putting money where his mouth is, as the critical hit on the Tinglu will take care of it, while Ben is celebrating that as well. Yeah, which is quite unfortunate. And with the Dragon Punch, that Frostmoth will go down. So unfortunately, that is a 1-0 for Ben Kyriakou. So let's take a look at these players again. They do seem ready. Yeah, Charlie as well, just turning around there, panicked, looking at the camera, hoping to find an answer there. But honestly, buddy, I do not know what the answer here is. Like, good luck. That's all I can really say. The options dwindling. Not really support from this side. Maybe we can look at the other side if anyone can help there. No, they're on their phone. They're not. Okay, but looking at the adaptation that Ben made perfectly to Charlie's, it is time for Charlie to move Ben out of his head. Rent is due. Get that man out of your head. He's not supposed to be able to know every little thing that you do. So maybe Charlie can opt to go for the different route as we have seen time and time again, instead of Frostmoth with a Fluttermane or even a Goldago, where just Tinglu, Among Us, Incineroar, and Porygon 2 is quite nothing zone, but it's quite slow going. And you then also have Como just being able to really put a lot of damage out, as long as Charlie's able to deal with that possible landers and, of course, with the Fluttermane. But that is the question, of course, what Charlie will hit to, keeping his Kingra close to his heart, ready to decide what. As Ben is just absolutely rocking it, really. Like this, this might not seem like it, but this is peak VGC performance, especially with the jamming as well. If you don't jam to your music, you're not choosing the right music, are you? I must add as well, I'm very grateful for to come over and cast these events. It means a lot to me, and I am very appreciative. That should be mentioned as well. The Belgian community thanks you very much. So let's take a look at what these players are bringing right now. And we have support grandma in the back ready to help here with Charlie's side. It is going to be the Porygon 2 and the Incineroar. Oh, if we're talking about flair, we have to talk about Charlie's shiny arsenal, really. All these Pokemon are very beautiful, pretty shiny. I like the white linings, Porygon 2 and the Incineroar as well. And now with the Intimidate, the guard dog is up. He's got that dog in him as he really deals some damage. You are able to make sure that you're got to go to Okidogi for one turn, but what are you do the turn? You do not want to get by this potential, potential overpon really, but I do feel like Charlie is trying to get this trick room going, or trying to just get as much damage as possible out there. Okidogi just being perfect Pokemon in this regard, a fighting type that just absolutely can destroy either of these Pokemon, as the Fluttermane is coming out. And on the side from Charlie, it is going to be that Terra there. It is going to be that Porygon 2 going into that Terra Poison, making sure that that Okidogi will no longer touch it for all that much damage. And out of the top of that, being able to resist any moves, well, not any moves, but like a lot of stab fairy moves from this Fluttermane, as well as the Eviolite is being knocked off. Flare Blitz from Incineroar into that Okidogi, just going for as much damage as possible. Maybe a potential burn even here with the recall damage. There's no burn, but we do have the Trick Room, and we have confirmation that, of course, the Incineroar is slower than the Okidogi. Sometimes interaction as well. So trying to see what could happen in that regard. Now, Porygon 2, Incineroar, both slower than you. if they double up, they might have the chance to make sure that Pokemon is no longer able to be in the way really of this potential Porygon. Just be in this trick room, recover itself a bit, just really enjoy life. This is his room. You're in his house right now. And with this Terra Blast as well, being able to Terra Blast from this Porygon 2, being able to quite a bit of damage to this Fluttermane, as we have another Terra coming out. Is going to be that Okidogi turning into that dark typing, making sure that knockoff is even doing more damage, being resist any sort of psychic moves as well, and as well making sure that it is able to just hang on a bit as the Flare Blitz into that Fluttermane, doing quite a bit of damage, but Fluttermane still hanging strong there in that regard, as we have the Terra Blast from Porygon 2 coming out as well, going to be doing some damage to that Fluttermane. Fluttermane will be going down, as now the only Pokemon still left on the field is that Okidogi on Ben's side, now being able to really do some damage here to that Incineroar with the Drain Punch and healing up back all that damage that just happened. Well, most of that damage. While the Incineroar is down, it's done its job, it's intimidated the Okidogi, gave it the attack boost, and then just skedaddled out there. Also the Ogerpon, of course, I do need to mention that. And now, with this trick room, Charlie does seem to have quite a nice option still of potential Among Us being able to sport this Okidogi. But we already know that the Ogerpon is also in the back, being able to redirect any potential spores there. As it is Frostmoth coming out. It is here, it is clear, and it's very ready to make us cheer as well, as Ogerpon is coming out. See what this will do. Is Frostmoth slower than an Okidogi in Trick Room? These answers can only be answered at Belgian locals. We do know that, of course, without the Violet, Porygon 2 is taking moves a bit, gonna be a bit rougher to take all this damage as well. But still, in this position that it's in, it is feeling fairly nice because it is able to Terra Blast Poison onto the Ogerpon. It is no longer able to Terra, doing a little damage, but we have the Spiky Shield actually in that regard. We have the Terra Blast just going into that Okidogi. Gonna do a bit of damage as well. How much is this doing? Oh, quite a bit actually. This Porygon 2 wanting to put in the effort for its boss there, for its best friend there. Charlie, as the Quiver Dance is coming out and raising its speed and of course its special attack as well. Drain Punch coming out into that Frostmoth. Oh my, absurd damage. But of course it is still a +1 bug resist. Ice does not, so it is neutral. And now this Frostmoth can snack on its berry as well. So now Frostmoth does have the potential to be the fastest thing on the field. We do know that the Fluttermane is still in the... No, Fluttermane was doubled up. Fluttermane, it went down. So the options here that Charlie has, we do know how much a crit of a Porygon 2 does. So we are aware that the Okidogi will not be able to be KO'd by any means, but we do know that this Terra Blast into that Ogerpon a tremendous amount of damage. Well, so Ben might have to adapt here to keep his Ogerpon alive in that regard. But we just have the Terra Blast from the Porygon 2 into that Ogerpon. Let's take a look if this is enough for the KO. It is not. It's doing quite a bit of damage. Super effective, as the Drain Punch will KO the Frostmoth. Meaning right now only the Ogerpon with its Ivy Cudgel is ready to get the knockout here. With this potential to crit as well. Eviolite gone. This Cudgel will hurt quite a bit as it is ready. It is water based and it did quite a bit of damage, but not enough. Porygon 2 still hanging strong as the last Pokemon on Charlie's side. It did reveal itself is going to be that Tinglu. Now with that Terra Dark Okidogi. Okidogi really being the bane of Charlie's distance right now. I feel like Ben counterbuilded him. Just by having his Okidogi. He really was just ready with his Okidogi just to showcase Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, I made your team. I did my best, but this Okidogi, this will beat you anyway, and I'm bringing this. Stomping Attack in front, take a look, coming out into that Ogerpon is not enough for the KO, unfortunately. As a Porygon 2 is able to recover off quite a bit of that damage, but now, unfortunately, this Okidogi is back again with the Drain Punch, doing so much damage. Thanks to that initial guard dog as well. Honestly, I expected this Oakpon to not survive the Stomping Tantrum, but Ben did train his Pokemon immaculately. So Skull and Bones might be representative of what this game is looking like for Charlie on that end. The Ivy Cudgel is coming out. No Trick Room on inside. That is going to be quite a bit of damage. Drain Punch will be enough to KO the Tinglu. And all I can say is, like, Ben did actually counter build Charlie. That's crazy. Actually made it so that Charlie would never win this. As with the Trick Room setup by this Porygon 2, trying to be able to keep up against Ben's onslaught of just many Pokemon. The DLC one is coming through as Ben is just really vibing with this. Charlie might be having the possible out here if Ben does manage to. If Ben just manages to underestimate what a Porygon 2 on its lonesome can do, really. It might be Porygon 2, but there's one on the field, but it's me and you. It's Landorus switching in for that Okidogi slot. Let's take a look at what this Ogerpon does. So Ogerpon going for the Spike Shield. Let's see what this Porygon 2 is doing as well. Is gonna go for the Ice Beam for the read for the kill onto the Landorus. He did it. He won the game. It's over. Your winner is Charlie. I mean, if you make a read like that, it's just over, right? Perfect read there by Charlie, making sure that the Porygon was gonna protect, and now making it a game for trying to force it to be a game for only with only the Okidogi and a Porygon being able to threaten. Yes, the Ice Beam will KO the Okidogi, and now only the Okidogi being there with not a lot of things to hit this hard with, as we have the Gunk Shot coming out doing a bit of damage, but not enough damage at all. So Charlie is comfortably able to recover here as well. Okidogi might be a problem, but not for this Terra Poison Porygon, as the knockoff powered by its Terra is coming out doing reasonable amount of damage. Now the Ice Beam coming out from the Porygon 2, doing a bit of damage to the Okidogi. And the freeze! He's just that good! He's just that good! Porygon 2, it is never over when you have a Porygon 2. If you have Ice Beam, if you have Recover, you've got everything. He's actually in the prime position right now to just be able to try and run away with this game, really. Well played by Charlie. Excellent play there. Oh, Okidogi coming out and going for that knockoff. Let's take a look how much this is doing. It is not enough for the kill, but it is definitely enough for the potential next one, as the Trick Room is going up yet again, meaning this Porygon 2 can recover yet again. So, with kind of bit of a stalemate, like Charlie does still have some few recovers, quite a bit, as a total of still 6 there, if I recall correctly, if I was counting correct. As well, yeah, Ben has an Assault Vest, and it is a bulky Pokemon, so trying to make sure it is able to win this war of attrition, really. Players will keep hitting each other till one of them falls. Is it gonna be the duck or the dog? It is the ultimate way of playing Duck Hunt, as we have the next Ice Beam coming out. Let's see another freeze potentially here, as the Drain Punch just coming out into that Porygon 2. A bit of damage and a bit of healing as well. Really a bit of healing. As the options here are dwindling for Ben as well, as the next Ice Beam is coming out. The fear of just a potential other Ice Beam freeze as the knockoff is coming out. Ooh, doing quite a bit of damage, bringing it in the red, but still hanging on strong. This is the Duck of Ages. Might be thinking, yeah, another knockoff, just doing way more damage. So, like, trying to mitigate here damage that is able to be done. Porygon 2, if... Ooh, actually, I do see a Winkle right now. If he goes for the knockoff, and it is a critical hit, this could supposed to be quite a lot of damage here, but still hanging on. It is a Trick Room coming out, meaning that Charlie is able to recover yet again. How many more knockoffs do you have? How many more recovers do you have? How long can this game be going on? And Charlie was wondering, why did he get to timer in this last round, I wonder. And another Dream Punch coming out from this Oogie Doogie, doing just a bit of damage. You know, a little bit of chip, a little bit of healing, good damage overall. Just making sure that it stays out of range of a potential number of Ice Beams being able to come out. Another Ice Beam into the Oogie Doogie. A critical hit! Ooh, this duck can do it. DuckTales, it is really there. Scrooge McDuck, this is your newest nephew, P2 McDuck. As now then his options are really dwindling. And it is another recover from his Porygon 2, just making sure that it stays healthy enough, not risking any sort of critical hits there as another Dream Punch into that Porygon 2. Prove a little bit effective as this Oogie Doogie is able to just a bit to make sure that it is 3-hit KO'd by an Ice Beam. Yeah, another Ice Beam onto the Oogie Doogie, doing quite a bit. As knockoff is coming out yet again. Powerful boosted Terra knockoff. Not like that in the wheelers and the rest of them. But now, yeah, Trick Room is over. So this gives Charlie a potential and another opportunity to just Trick Room. Dream Punch from the Porygon 2, making sure that the put it right in range for a potential knockoff. Right in range for you to be able to recover just enough health to make it just a bit more Charlie. It is truly mesmerizing how Porygon 2 was able to bring this game back so well with a genius call on the Ice Beam on the swap in, and the rest as the Dream Punch is coming out, doing just a bit more Oogie Doogie, slowly but surely healing just that bit enough to make sure that it is able to give you another Ice Beam and another critical hit, a freeze. Well, I feel like Ben hasn't gotten crit in a while, so I feel like it's his time. But it is looking like it is curtains right now. This does manage to seem to be range as the Ice Beam is coming out, and it is enough for the Oogie Doogie, meaning that Charlie is able to win that game back here. We're back here. It is game 3 time. This is absolutely amazing. This might be the best. These might be the best players just in the whole world, really, as we have seen. Like these amazing plays being made. Ben trying to outpredict Charlie, and Charlie are trying to outpredict there as well, like being able to keep up just as well. These players and casters, I should mention, are just showcasing how well they know this game as well. So, final game, final decisions to be made. Loser goes home without an airplane ticket. The other one is the one that loses has to stay in Belgium, work his way up the ladder of Belgium rank. Okay, we've seen the Oogie Doogie just perform extremely well twice, but unfortunately, what we haven't seen is the Frostmoth really do anything. As I want to be a believer, I really do, but I'm not seeing it right now. But if there's anyone I believe in, it is Charlie Merriman. Merry by name, he's married by man. And then on the other hand, of course, Ben Cuckoo Kyriakou, the insane plays of switching in a Landorus onto an Ice Beam. He saw something there. Players have completely gauged each other's abilities. They have played well, not this particular match, but Ben has quite a bit of experience against this team versus Charlie, because Ben was yesterday playing a Kingdra team where he played 6 games, I believe, what they mentioned. And now Charlie has to just completely adapt here to a new team here, something that Ben was keeping behind his ears, really, just not really wanting to showcase it and just using it now to really optimal use there for Charlie to struggle to try and win this. But Charlie has been strong enough already once that he is able to, and should be strong enough to a second time. We have Among Us and the Porygon 2, while it is Incineroar and Okie Dokie. we have from the download from the Porygon Z there. Sure is able to do just enough damage there. Good position. The swap into the Ogerpon is always something that you should keep in mind. But there's always the option of column puffing. That is plays that the players can from left and right support. I love that we're back here in the schoolyard again. This is truly OG Pokemon VGC here. As it is Porygon 2 being switched out here, not wanting to risk any sort of fighting type moves, or just, it is the Frostmoth, it's the Moth out of nowhere. Coming in, making sure that it, as long as we have the Terra from Charlie's side, is going to be the Amoonguss this time around. Amoonguss being that Terra Water, being able to make sure it is able to take this Flare Blitz quite well from this Incineroar, and a potential gun shot, at least for neutral, as the knockoff is going into the Frostmoth, doing a bit of damage, you know, like decent amount of damage. As we have Tom from the Incineroar into that Amoonguss, and let's see what this Amoonguss went for. It is going for the Polypuff potentially again, but unfortunately it is the Spore. Well played there by Ben, just making sure that this was shut down, or at least the Porygon 2 with the potential of Brick Room. Probably maybe predicting that potential threat that Ben was seeing at Porygon 2. But Ben correctly assuming that the Amoonguss is the big bad here right now. I realized I forgot to change the scenery, so my bad. I'm sorry, Charlie. I've been just describing the game, so I'm sorry if you're using this. Sorry. Now with these Pokemon onto the field, after the Terra Water, Amoonguss able to do quite a bit of damage from the gunshots. Or we have a gunshot, but gunshot can, of course, miss the gunk flunk as the Ice Beam is coming out onto the Ogedogi. Quite a bit of damage. The Ogedogi has been hit by Ice Beams quite a lot today, as with a parting shot, this Frostmoth will be able to as much damage as we just saw onto the. Still out of potential for crits, of course. Get me wrong, but is it really the same after Cat has just the parting shot that he. Now Pollen Puff coming out from the was into the following slot, doing quite a bit of damage. Charlie has correctly read that there was a switch coming in. And now with Fluttermane onto the field, and I'm no longer being able to fire type moves. Still a relatively big bulky Pokemon. Has to think about the options might arise here from the moves that Ben might be go for the faster either of Charlie's side. For the ice. Not really able to anything that on as the Fluttermane is actually switching out. It is gonna be that Incineroar yet again, making sure that this Amoonguss will not be able to anything, even when the 3 turns of taunt are over. Made on either of these, not doing all that much damage. Green Punch onto the Frostmoth, doing decent amount of damage. Being able to heal quite a bit as well. Ice Beam is coming out. It is gonna go into that Incineroar. Is it able to do some damage here? The Pollen Puff is able to make sure that this Frostmoth just stays a little bit more healthy than I would like to be. Taunt is gone. Incineroar is in. This Amoonguss does fear the threat of Taunt, but at this time could always switch out and overpredict, or like maybe Charlie has a way of punishing this option of just going for another example, and just a setup with Frostmoth, as the options are there. But what deciding factor here, as the Drain Punch is going into a Frostmoth, doing quite a bit of damage, and that means this Ogedogi is back at full health. Ice Beam coming out to the Ogedogi, early going. Used to be the earlier stage of the game where the freeze did happen, but maybe it could happen for longer, as the taunts coming out, and Amoon can't use Spore yet again. Fair play, like still trying to get there, because honestly, if Ben was a bit greedy and went for a Flare Blitz, he Frostball, instead of trying to taunt, this was quite good position for Charlie. Any of these till now shown. We have a gun shot coming out into the moose, doing quite a bit of damage. No poison, luckily, as the ice beam coming out into the Ogre, doing yet a bit of damage. And now the flare blitz from this runner will prove to be enough to take down the beautiful Frostmoth, unfortunately. As we have yet another Pollen Puff into this runner, just doing a bit more damage, just making sure that it is in range of the potential kill for Pokemon in the back that Charlie might have. I have seen the Porygon too, so what is the other Pokemon? It is Lou. King Lou would any sort of Dream Punches, but it certainly has a possibility to just be able to hit either of these Pokemon with a strong ground type move as well. We have seen Stomping Tantrum earlier. We might see it yet again right now. And Ben does have a pair of still at hand, but you know, that's just we'll have to figure out how he is dealing with this blue. There's no one Terra option on Charlie's side. Good Dream Punch coming out, doing quite a bit of King Lou, able to hit quite a bit just as well. Now, Incineroar is actually able to be faster than King Lou, really being not able to do all that much with switching of Incineroar. Limited cycling will be happening quite a bit as Landorus is switching. Landorus, of course, being a flying type, not really being affected by any type of ground moves. It is Stomping Tantrum, but unfortunately it is into the Landorus slot as the Pollen Puff is into that King Lou. Make sure that that stays just a bit more healthy as well. Mungus shook off the taunt, and it is finally time. There's no Incineroar on the field. The potential is there. Go for a Spore, very least. We have seen all 4 Pokemon inside, so Charlie is also aware of the combat at this moment. So being able to, so that he is able to, if he's hanging on, of course. While on the other hand, King Lou being able to make sure that this Amu can take damage just a bit better thanks to its ability. Vessel of Ruin, Earth Power, tremendous amount of damage. Is it gonna be enough to hang on? But it isn't. When the Okidogi is also paired up with it, Rocky Helmet doing a bit more damage there, as Mungus is finally down as well, leaving Charlie with only 2 Pokemon remaining. And of course now with the Sand Tube, this Okidogi will be locked in here. But I feel like this Okidogi is just saying, I'm not locked here in with you, you're locked here in with me. I've seen the Okidogi from the beginning of every game and just trying to stay on the field every time. Like, I've not seen this Okidogi switch. Guard Dog is correct. It is not. It is there to make sure that Ben is able to just have fun and just deal as much damage as possible. Now with the thing, with the Porygon 2 being able, quite bulky, still has his Violet. Well, and we have seen Porygon 2 already prove to be very, very effective earlier. So maybe we can expect another P2 comeback here, so to say. Ting Lu. Love the way Ting Lu looks at the analyst. Literally a cow looking at the cloud. As we have the Terra on Ben's side, it is going to be that Okidogi. It is going to turn evil. It is that dark typing. Its knockoff is stronger. It is ready to deal some damage, as no more ground type moves will be super effective onto this Ting Lu, as we have the Earth Power from Landorus onto the Ting Lu, not doing all that much damage, as Dream Punch combined with it doing just a bit more for Earth Power. As we still have these 2 Pokemon from Charlie being able to move, as we have the Ice Beam coming out onto the Landorus, and that will be enough for a KO there, as it is of course 4 times effective as well. Charlie is not going out without a fight. We have a Stomping Tantrum coming out. Let's take a look how much this is doing. Doing decent damage, of course, no longer super effective, but with the Sand Tomb as well, just racking upon damage there, really. Sinner being able to come in, we already have seen this. Faster is able to make sure that the Ting Lu is just not really able to have a grand old time. But Porygon 2 still on the field, still hanging on, still having the possibility to bring this all just perfectly back as well. Because we have seen how bulky it is, have seen how strong it can be as well, and how good attack it has potential of recruitment. You know the last Pokemon Ben side as well, which Charlie still has to deal with. As the Drain Punch coming out, doing just enough damage for this over half, and the Ting Lu is down for the count as well. Porygon 2 flinched, unfortunately, thanks to the fake out, and now it is Porygon 2 against 3 Pokemon. We've been in this position before. I'm somewhat of a Porygon 2 believer. Ben might accidentally slip and on the run button. Well, as we have the knockoff from the Yokudogi. Powerful with the item still there. Wow, that is just as much as if with an item. It's amazing to see, as a taunt will make sure that this Porygon is not able to recover either. So this Porygon 2 being just put in its place as a trick room can be used right now. So Ben going left and right, flanking this Porygon, going quickly with a 1-2 there as a Drain Punch coming out into that Porygon 2, quite a bit of damage, and now only the Incineroar is left, being able to go for an attack. This Porygon 2 very low, can recover on the last of its health, and it is going to be a Flare Blitz from Ben into that Porygon 2, and that is a KO, and that makes your winner Ben Kyriakou. Right, yeah, camera isn't that high. Oh, and they're hugging and they're loving each other, and that's great. But that does mean that Charlie is staying in Belgium. Unfortunately, he's never going back. Unfortunately, that is the punishment. So, subscribe. Have a good time.